What up, y'all? It's your boy Ant, and I just wanted to take a moment to personally shout out my wife, Shira Nicole Smith, and the launch of her new book, The Drama of Being a Teen. And I actually want to talk about her not because she's my wife, but because she's a parent, and I'm a parent, and I was a parent before we even met. Parent of two teenagers, and it was the principles and the techniques and the conversations that she and I had that actually has helped me to become a better parent. And I really appreciate that because y'all know it is not easy parenting children of any age. And when we go through the difficulties of raising children once they become teenagers, we think just because we were once teens that we understand them. But the reality is that one of the things that Shira taught me was that I was a teenager back in the 90s, the late 80s and the early 90s. And even though we dealt with a lot of issues back then, sex and drugs and violence and gangs and all that kind of stuff, it still was different though. And it's completely different for teenagers these days, because it's 2020. And they deal with all kind of stuff. I mean, you take the sex and the drugs, and now you have to add in cyberbullying, sex online and twerking and all kind of stuff that, teenagers have to deal with these days, and easy access to drugs and perverts and all kind of crazy stuff. And it's just totally different. And I really do appreciate my wife because she's been doing this for 20 years. So she has literally seen the changes in teenagers for 2 decades now. I mean, if you think about it, when she first started teaching, she was teaching teenagers 13 and 14 years old that are now 33 and 34 years old. And some of them have teenagers that they're raising themselves. And so she is truly an expert in dealing with that. And so I like to refer to her as the teen whisperer, because even though she's an English teacher by trade, she has learned and has mastered the language of Teenglish. She really, truly knows how to connect with teenagers. She knows how to, they just trust her. I mean, they share so many things with her, and she listens to them. And that's one of the things that I actually learned from her, in dealing with my own children and dealing with a preteen now. Our youngest is 12 years old now. And so applying these principles and techniques have really, truly helped me to become a better father, a better, parent. I just, I listen to my kids now, and I want them to trust me. And it was a very difficult thing to try to open up to my kids and tell them things that I dealt with as a teenager, sharing my own personal stories with them. Man, that ain't easy, being honest with your children. But it is important for them to know that. And so I just want to thank you, Shira, for writing this book, for sharing your personal stories with these kids and with the world and with us as parents. I love you. I honor you. I really do appreciate you. And I am so grateful, and I am so excited that for the millions of people around the world that will learn from you and learn from your students and all those that have shared their stories with you, and allowing you to be able to share your tips and strategies to help us to continue to raise our children to be productive members of society. You are absolutely the best.